My name's Kyle Dake. I'm from Lansing, New York. I went to Cornell University and I'm a 4-time NCAA champion. I've always wrestled. It's been a family affair. My grandfather was a wrestling coach, wrestled in college. My father was a wrestling coach, wrestled in college. And that was my path. Growing up in upstate New York was fun. Very cold winter, so we never really wanted to go outside unless it was to get in the car to go to practice. I've always been really competitive, so I found out wrestling was my natural high when I was probably 10 or 11 years old. I started going to national competitions, and my mom always told me that I could do anything I wanted to. If I believed it, I could achieve it. My parents were my biggest role models for sure. My mom is the most positive person I've ever met. Anything and everything that happens, she always has a big smile on, and she always finds that silver lining. So I try to get my positivity from her. And then my dad, he's the hardest working guy I know. He's up at 4 a.m., doesn't go to sleep until 9 p.m., and is always working, just working his tail off. And I think the combination of the two really have benefited me as a person, not even as an athlete, just more as a person, because I'm always working hard and trying to stay positive with anything that happens. Growing up, I really needed to focus on school because I knew I wanted to go to Cornell. My dad was a coach there. We went to every single Cornell wrestling match. They were on the rise, but I got to get in first. And it's an academic school, and athletics kind of take a back seat. So I really had to focus and make sure that I did my job to get out there and make sure that I was on the right track. And that was really motivating for me because I knew what I wanted. I wasn't worried about going to parties or going out late with my friends drinking or anything like that. I was just worried about being the best I could possibly be at wrestling. My dad was a high school wrestling coach, and I could see the older kids who were really talented and really good at wrestling, and they would always seem to fade once they got a little bit older. I would ask my dad, I'm like, Dad, what's going on with these guys? Like, they were really good last year. He's like, I don't know, man, they're just kind of getting into other stuff. And I was like, well, I don't want to fade. I want to be good at wrestling forever. I don't want anything to stop me. I want to be the best, and that's what I wanted to be. And that just was the biggest motivating factor for me because I wanted to be the best. I never wanted to lose. I never drink. I don't drink. It's not something that I'm interested in. When you drink, you lose your sleep the night before. You wake up, you go to practice, you have a hangover, and you're not practicing up to your ability, and then the following day you don't recover as well. So you're losing 3 days worth of time just because you wanted to have one night of fun. I could always have fun without alcohol, without having to, put some booze in my belly to open up. I could open up to pretty much anybody. It didn't matter to me. You just gotta be confident enough in yourself to open up to people and not try to hide in your shell. Just be yourself. I could definitely tell if somebody started getting into the wrong thing, or starting to fade, just because it would show early in practice. Maybe they don't show up to class, or they just look tired, and it's like, hey buddy, what's going on? And most of the time, it's just they need someone to talk to, and they want someone to be interested in what their life is about. And for me, I was just always trying to make sure that everyone was doing okay. And really, it's just having an honest conversation with somebody. It's amazing the power of words in those types of situations. So the biggest heartbreaking letdown was definitely in 2013 at the World Team Trials. It was the second match. I wrestled my tail off and was doing really, really well, and just made one simple strategic error, and it cost me the match. And it still, I still think about it to this day. But anything that happens to you, you have to imagine it as being the best possible thing that could have happened to you. So me losing that match is the best possible thing that could have happened to me at that time. Obviously it's not the result I want, but that's the attitude you have to take after it already happens, because you can't change what happened in the past. You have to just accept it and grow from it. A lot of my friends were wrestlers in college. In high school, none of my friends wrestled. They all played basketball and played hockey. I always had two different groups. You know, I had my wrestling team, and then I also had my friends outside. And my friends outside, they knew that I was going to be at wrestling practice from this time to this time. And they knew that I needed to be in the bed by this time. And they knew that I wanted to accomplish these goals. They just understand. They realize that I have higher goals and high expectations for myself, and they accept those. My advice to kids would be to try everything. When I was growing up, I literally played every sport. I tried everything. I was in the chorus for a little bit. I played an instrument for a little bit. I played soccer, football, basketball. I literally did everything. And you'll eventually find what you're best at. Just keep trying everything, and if you have something that you really like and you really enjoy, go ahead and continue and just keep trying. In the wrestling room, it's all about wrestling. I don't need to focus on school, my house. I don't need to focus on literally nothing. All I have to do is wrestle. And for me, it's just that moment of clarity throughout the day is something I really look forward to. And it's almost too good to be put into words. My name's Kyle Dake. Wrestling is my natural high. What's yours?